What's up, y'all? Out here at the range, as you can see behind me, trying to sneak one last test in out here under these dark, dreary skies. Believe it or not, it ain't even 3 o'clock out here yet. It's just completely overcast, been that way all day. Dark, it's getting colder. It's supposed to hit 50 degrees out here, but let me tell you something, it didn't hit 50 where I was standing, buddy. I can tell you that for sure. But what we're doing, we're gonna sneak one more test in, and as you can see by the title, it's another 9mm test, but it's something a little bit different. Let me show you what we're working with. So obviously got the jelly contraption with the Chrono and 2 blocks of gel. Now these gel blocks are plumb full of tracks because I've done several tests on these already today. I don't know what order you'll be seeing these in, but I'll leave some links up above for the ones I've already posted, but stay tuned for those if you hadn't seen them all yet. But what we're doing today is testing out some rounds that Jamie sent me. So big thank you to Jamie first off for sending these to me. And what we got here is some Berries hybrid hollow points, 147 grain Berries hybrid hollow points. Now Jamie loaded these himself with 3.9 grains of Tite Group. That's the powder he used in them. So 3.9 grains of Tite Group with 147 grain Berries hybrid hollow points. Now, from what little homework I did before I came out here checking this powder load and all that out, that might be a little bit light. I know the recipes call for around in there, but those recipes are giving some really low velocities like out of that load. So we'll see how it works out here, but then maybe this will give him some good feedback in case it does need to be tweaked a little bit. So what we're running them out of here today is 2 different tools. We're going to use the 3-inch barrel 365 and the 4 1/4-inch barrel P80. So give 2 different types of feedback. So like I say, if he can look at the velocities and expansion and wants to tweak it from there, he can go from there with it. But this one ought to be pretty interesting, and hopefully it helps Jamie if he needs to tweak this recipe some with the testing I can do out here with it. So let me get everything set up and we'll get started. All right, y'all, let's get us some speeds on these things and see what we're working with out here. I'm gonna start out with the 3-inch barrel P365, and I'm gonna get 5-round averages out of both of these tools so he can have some good feedback, like I say, if he needs to adjust the recipe a little bit or whatever. So let's see what we get. Personally, I'm hoping to see about 1,050 to 1,100 out of even this 3-inch barrel is what I would want. Now, we'll see what happens here. So let's see what we get, y'all. 924, 905, 898, 908, and 905. So it's cycled every round, but a little bit slower than I would personally want. Let's go check and see what the average is. All right, so the 5-round average out of the 3-inch barrel was 908 feet per second. So definitely a little bit slower than I'd like to see. I'd say he can bump that up just a little bit and get a little bit more speed out of these things for sure. So let me get everything reset and let's try it out of the 4 1/4. All right, y'all, let's see what a little more barrel will do for us. We're running out the P80 with the 4 1/4-inch barrel. Gonna do a 5-round average on this also. Here we go. $956, $966, $969, $960, and 966. So still definitely, that's slower than I would want for sure. Let's check out the average on that though. All right, so the 5-round average on them out of the 4 1/4-inch barrel was 963 versus the 3-inch barrel of 908. So what, 55 feet per second difference, 55 feet per second difference in them. So either way, I'd like a little more speed on both of them myself, but y'all let me know what y'all think about that. So let's get everything reset up. Y'all know what time it is. All right, y'all, it's hybrid jelly time. I'm gonna take a couple of shots each on these, actually, at least a couple. If I go out or something, I'll take more, but I wanna take at least a couple just to give him some good feedback on these rounds. So we're gonna start out with the P365 with the 3-inch barrel. Now this block is pretty taken up with slots, but I think it's still fine, even if it runs through another track. I really just wanna get some feedback as far as expansion and penetration. We may not be able to tell so much on the wound channel, but I think we can tell what we need to tell. So let's get a couple shots out of this 3-inch, y'all. All right, there's 1. And there's 2. Those are almost right at each other. So let's go down there and check those out. All right, y'all. Y'all can probably tell by the lack of projectile in y'all's view down there that they kept on trucking. they kept on trucking. There wasn't no expansion on either one of them. One of them went completely out the end, but we'll talk about it here in a second. They just need a little bit more go juice, I think, Jamie. Just a pinch or two more. But let's try it out this 4 1/4 inch barrel and see if what that does for it. I got a feeling we're probably gonna get about the same results. So let's check it out, y'all. That was me riding the slide. That wasn't nothing to do with the load. I do that terribly on this thing. All right, one more. Try to put it in the clear area over here. All right, let's see what happened to those down there. All right, y'all, I actually got mixed results out on those 2 rounds out of this 4 1/4, so I'm gonna put 2 more out of this 4 1/4. One of them went right on out the end like the last 2 out of the 3 inch, and one of them actually turned and opened up a little bit. I think it's because it tumbled is the only reason that stopped, but we're gonna try 2 more just to get a little more data on it. Let's see what we get, y'all. I went out the side on that one, trying to get that clear spot. All right, I'm not sure where that one went. Let me go check those out. All right, y'all, let's take a quick look at what we got here. It's a mangled up mess, but I've tracked all of them. So basically the summary of what we got was there are 2 projectiles still in the gel. One way down here in the second block, I'll show you here in a second, totally unexpanded and straightforward. The other one is sitting right here sideways and actually expanded. Now, the one down here in this block, way down here unexpanded, was out of the 3 inch barrel, and the second one went out the end. I'll show you the exit there. So then the next 2 shots we took out of the 4 1/4, one went out the end and one is this expanded round, and then the last 2 shots out of the 4 1/4, one went out the side right here and one went out the very end again. So we caught 2 out of 6. The other 4 went out the end. Well, 3 went out the end, one of them went out the side. This one was probably destined to go out the end also. But let me show y'all actually all the wound tracks and the exits that down here. You're definitely not going to be able to differentiate between some of these wound channels, but this little spiral looking one, that's the one that actually expanded. Nice wound channel off of that actually. And then there's a projectile down there, and I'll pull it so you can get a better look here in a second, but that's actually a nice wound channel off that one that did expand. The other ones are all these that are perfectly straight lines. So perfectly straight lines coming in. As you can see, one of them curve down, and boom, there's one of the first 3 inch shots. The other 3 incher, you can see, went out the end down there. One of them right there, that's one of the 3 inch that went out the end. So then we took the 4 1/4. So the 4 1/4 was actually, one of those was the expanded one there, and then another one went out the end. One of these right up in here. And then we took 2 last ones, obviously. One of them went out the side, and the other one went out the end right here. So you got 3 exits right there where 3 of them went completely through. One of them, again, went out the side. One of them expanded, and one of them sitting right here, down here, unexpanded. As far as penetration on this one that did expand, and I'll be honest with you, it's probably really no sense in measuring this and getting any kind of data off of this, because I would actually call this an outlier or a fluke. Anyway, the penetration on this is 14.5 inches. So actually good penetration. But you know, you got to be able to duplicate that. You got to be able to get those same results. So that was the only one. So 14.5 inches of penetration. So if you could get them all to act like that, then you're in the money for sure. Now, as far as the rest of them, you know, obviously we can't measure. We can measure this one that stopped. This one stopped down here at 28, and the other ones went beyond 32 into the wild blue yonder out there. Just a little bit of quick data now. This was the one out of one of the first 2 that was shot out of the P365. Absolutely no deformation or expansion whatsoever in that. Absolutely none. So as you can see, completely intact. It didn't even consider opening up, the mouth's not open any at all, no, and this one was facing straight forward, so it wasn't just a matter of tumbling. It didn't have the heat behind it, is what I'm guessing. So now this one here, the sole round that did some expansion, as you can see, it expanded, but very inconsistent and not near what it should do for sure. But that being said, this will be an awesome round when you get this recipe worked out. Check that out, y'all. It's lead and copper, hence the name the hybrid, I'm assuming. So really cool looking round there. I would really like to see one of these expanded out fully like it should be. But as you can see, like I say, I think this one was a fluke just because of, well, in my opinion, it's one of two things. Either this one was loaded a little hot, or it's just the fact that it started tumbling and some funky stuff went on and it got a little bit of expansion. But let's do a little quick weight measurement at least anyway, see if this lost anything. So started out 147. 146.6, so it may have lost, or it just may have been 146.6 from the start. So as far as expansion, there's really no need to look at it, but we'll check it out anyway. Short way is 0.6, the long way 0.66. So just because it's so asymmetrical and, you know, it didn't fold back like it was supposed to is why you got such a large seeming number there. But like I said, again, this hopefully this gives Jamie, hopefully this gives you some good feedback, brother, and maybe up the grains just a tiny bit, not full grains, but, you know, bump up, trickle a little pinch or two more in there. It's really difficult. I know if you don't have the means to test things as you're loading them, it's definitely difficult to tweak your recipes and stuff. But I'll get with you and we'll figure some more stuff out if you want some more help doing this. But very interesting rounds anyways. It just needs a little bit of tweaking, and I think that'll be a really nice round if you had the recipe right. All right, y'all, another jelly test done, and this is the last one for today for sure, because I'm sure as y'all can see, it's getting overcast out here. I actually felt a little bit of a sprinkle, and I don't think we're supposed to get any of that today. So this stuff might be moving in quicker than expected, but hopefully it holds off at least another day or two, because I ain't looking forward to it. Anyway, this one was kind of an unusual test to make a video out of, but I was glad to help Jamie do it, and maybe it can help other people out there who's loading stuff, you know, get an idea, especially if you're loading these same exact projectiles. You know, I told you the 3.9 Tite Group, and you see what you got out of that, so you definitely need to bump it up a little bit from that. And also, some of y'all loaders out there, seeing what you saw here, if you were loading that 147 projectile and you got these results out of 3.9 Tite Group, what would y'all bump it up to? I know most people don't like giving people specific amounts and all just because of the liability reasons alone, but if it were you loading this, you know, what might you bump it up to if you got these results out of 3.9 grains of Tite Group? Leave me some comments down below. Let me know. But like I said, I think if you get the recipe ironed out right for these things, by the looks of that partially expanded one, those things look pretty doggone cool. I really like the whole lead and copper hybrid thing going on. It looks like a neat projectile. But if y'all did enjoy the video, as always, make sure you reach down and hit that thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell notification icon so you can get notified when I upload new stuff. Check my Amazon storefront affiliate link down in the description like I always ask you. If you shop through Amazon anyway, and not asking you to go out of your way and shop through Amazon, but if you do anyway, hit that link up first, go straight through Amazon like normal from there. Don't cost you any extra time or money, and anything you buy anywhere on Amazon after going through that link first, we get a kickback from Amazon towards the channel, so I really appreciate that. Appreciate all my Range Gang members who reached down and hit that join button. That really does help, so I thank y'all for that. Huge thanks to each and every single one of y'all who watch my videos, who thumbs up, subscribes, and leave me some comments down below. Let me know what you think about the recipe on these rounds, how they performed, and what you might do if it were you loading for yourself, where you might do some tweaking at. I filmed a bunch of stuff out here today, so y'all probably seen a lot of it. I don't know what order I'm uploading things, but stay tuned for a whole lot more to come. And in the meantime, stay safe, stay prepared, and I'll see y'all soon.